ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Lair of Filmery. Tonight we will be reviewing Aharen is Indecipherable. Well, beginning his first year of high school, all Matsuboshi Raiden wants is to make friends, starting with the cute, tiny, and soft-spoken Reina Aharen, who sits right next to him in class. Unbeknownst to Raito, Reina shares the same sentiment, but she has a problem. Awkward and timid, Reina is incapable of determining how chummy she has to be when approaching a person. Due to Reina's complete inability to gauge personal space, the two struggle to spark their unlikely friendship, as even the simplest tasks like talking seem impossible for them. But despite the countless yet pointless challenges that hinder the pair, the overly imaginative Raito will do whatever it takes to befriend the indecipherable Reina. I know, this is supposed to be one of those normal, slice of life anime that you guys see every fucking day nowadays. And it's supposed to kind of be like Komi Can't Communicate or any of the other socially awkward anime. Like, I guess you could also say like Watamote, but guys, I can't praise this. Like, while I do like the idea of someone being so antisocial that they can't figure out personal space and can't figure out if they're annoying, because I've had that problem before. This show makes some interesting mistakes. Like, I love the Pokemon references, I love the Beyblade references, I think there was a Star Wars reference in there. All these interesting ideas, and I love how Raito's imagination every time he sees Aharen do something or sees her face, he comes up with these weird ideas like opening up a tapioca drink restaurant, or she's coming up with all these extraordinary ideas like also being a hotel manager during one of the last few episodes. It can get kind of annoying after a while, and also they go for the romantic ending, where Raito and Aharen fall for each other. They kiss during, I think, the 10th episode, during a camping trip, which is supposed to replace, which is your typical go-to if you're trying to replace the beach or swimming episode, which they technically did have a swimming episode too, where we find out both Aharen and Raito don't know how to swim, but they go for the romance ending where if we don't get a season 2, it's gonna be left with a cliffhanger where it's where we never get to see them actually go on an actual date as a couple, or we don't see their relationship develop, where here, I mean, that's why a lot of people get annoyed when the main characters in a lot of anime fall for each other during the last few episodes with, I mean, almost no development in the relationship. Yeah, they're really good friends. They've got other friends like Ushiro, Ishikawa, and Sato rooting for them to get together because they're always very close, and they seem to be really good friends, and they're always walking very close to each other, or they seem to look very couple-like. The show basically relies on, they're friends, and they rely on the same plot point with Raito having an overactive imagination about Aharen, because she's good at every game they play, and she's an amazing cook, and she can honestly find Ushiro, no matter where she hides, because Ushiro is kind of a stalker of the show, constantly looking after Reina because of how well she treated her in elementary school and middle school. But it's just, this show can be really awkward. I mean, there's literally most of the episodes. This one teacher named Tubaru Sensei, I think. I'm probably saying that name wrong. But she's got this whole big thing where she gets nosebleeds whenever she sees Rido and Aharen together. She claims it's too much esteem, so I'm thinking she's just horny on the main, thanks to her love of romance novels or whatever. And it's an annoying phrase that you hear throughout the show, and it's awkward, and I feel bad for her friend who has to constantly take care of her because of her nosebleed horniness. Yeah. While I'm saying all these bad things about the show, it's not really the worst. I mean, I did find the ending kind of cute, with Reina planting those flowers, because I believe they mean, they're called lupins. They're pea plants that represents imagination, admiration, and happiness. It's like a cute way of saying that Rido makes Aharen feel happy whenever he's around her, and she's inclined to like him because he's just a really great guy. But yeah, I'm gonna be honest, the show should not just be made to have references or to play off the tropes that anime has presented. I mean, it is an interesting concept. A girl who is so quiet that that her crush can barely hear her. I did kind of find the gags funny, like where Rido is trying to find different ways to communicate with her, like an arrow message. I think there was a hawk. There's just all these ideas that he comes up with to help her. Like, also there was this whole big gag where Reina can't see behind the guy who sits in front of her, so Rido tries to make her a mega desk, which is like 3 desks piled onto each other, or he tries to have her sit on his shoulder or sit in his lap, and it's just, they're funny gags, don't get me wrong. I did find this show kind of funny, but it's one of those shows where I had to come back after like 2-3 days because I was iffy about watching the ending, because I had a feeling they were going to go for the romance ending, and it's going to be the same old concept. So unless we get like a season 2, I don't think I'm going to be coming back to this series, which is why I want to give it a 5, because it's just something we've seen done before, but I'm going to be generous and I'm going to give it a 6.5, because while it's not bad and it's actually kind of interesting and some of the gags really land very well, some parts of it can be bland, like the romance between them, how they keep going back to the arcade every couple of episodes to buy a new plushie. I will say the introduction of Rido's family, his sister and his mother in the rap episode, and the introduction of Reina's family, her younger brother who likes to dress in her clothes, and her older sister, who is kind of against Rido and is very protective of her sister. They're really interesting ways to introduce the family. Like, the rap episode could be kind of annoying. I will say I kind of tuned it out a bit. But the misunderstanding with Rido thinking that the younger brother was his older sister was actually kind of interesting, and I also love the joke about. He makes a joke about how she has this giant sword, and it's Reina's little sister, Aru. I think that's how you say her name. And then there's Ren, and I just like how Aru just has this giant katana, and she says, "Oh, I'm just making fish with it." And he kind of gets the idea that maybe it's more so she's trying to protect her sister with it. It's an interesting show. The gags are pretty funny, and I like the references, but I will say that it's not one of my favorites of 2022. So, if you want to, I'll say give it a chance. Let me know what you think of it in the comments, but it's definitely not one of my favorites. So, yeah, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Click the little notification bell for more of our content, and have a great night.